solve the system by converting the corresponding augmented matrix into a row or reduced row echelon form. So we have a system of linear equations. So first we write the corresponding augmented matrix. So we got x1, x2, x3, x4. So 2, 3, negative 1, 1. So let me write down here. So the augmented matrix is 2, 3, minus 1, 1, and I want to separate the constants. This colon is not needed. There is no x1, that means 0, 1, 1, negative 2, 4. From third equation we got 3, there is no x2, means 0, 3, 0, negative 1, 1, 0. And here is 1, 1, negative 1, 1, 1, negative 1, negative 2, 1. Okay. So to put this in echelon form, so we want to work with this one, and we make this is pivot element. So we generally make 1 so that it's easier to make all zeros. So this is 1 and make all zeros below this. Then go down here diagonally. Here is 1 and make 0, 0. Then go here, make this 1 and 0. That way we get this in echelon form. Okay. So here is 2. Look at the fourth row. We got 1 there, right? So let's interchange row 1 and row 4. So from here we are interchanging R1, row 1 and row 4. So it should be the same. So row 1 goes to the fourth and this one comes to the front. First 1, 1, negative 1, negative 2, 1. That's the fourth row. Then 0, 1, 1, negative 2, 4, 3, 0, negative 1, 1, 0. Now the first 2, 3, negative 1, 1, negative 1. Okay. So this is 1. Now we're going to make everything below this pivot 1 0. So this is already 0. So we want to make this 0. That's R3. And at the same time, we can make this 0. So R3. So here, so let me move a little bit downward. Okay, so R3 from here, okay, from here R3, that is R3 plus 3. So let's multiply this by negative 3. So when we multiply R1 by negative 3, this becomes negative 3, and 3 plus negative 3 is 0. So R3 plus negative 3 times R1. Okay, that means we are only working on R3. So R1 stays the same, 1, 1, negative 1, negative 2, 1, 0, 1, 1, negative 2, 4. So multiply by negative 3 and we are adding with this. So 3 plus negative 3, 0. 0 plus negative 3 is negative 3. Negative 1 plus negative 3 times negative 1, that's positive 3. Negative 1 plus 3 is 2. Okay. Then 1 plus multiply by negative 3. Negative 3 times negative 2 is positive 6. And 1 plus 6 is 7. And here is 0 plus negative 3 is just negative 3. Okay, we made this one 0. Now we want to make this 2 0 as well. So we can work on R4 at the same time. So that is R4 plus, in the same way, multiply R1 by negative 2. And 2 plus negative 2 will be 0. 3 plus negative 2 is 1. Negative 1 plus 2 is 1. 1 plus 4 is 5. And negative 1 minus 2 is negative 3. Okay, so that's what we have here now. So first column is now good. Okay, let me make it smaller here. So this one is 0. So we go diagonally. Oh, this is already 1. That's good. Now we want to make this negative 3 0 using the pivot. So always use the pivot to make this 0 and use 1 again to make this 0. So we work on R3 and R4. Okay, so let's do here. R3 such that, so we are making this one using the pivot here 1. So that is R3 plus, multiply this by 3, and negative 3 plus 3 is 0. So 3 times R2. So R1 stays the same. So is R2, because R2 is already good in echelon form. Okay, R3 plus 3 times R2, 0 plus 0 is 0. Negative 3 plus 3 is 0. 2 plus 3 times 1, 3. 2 plus 3, 5. 7 plus negative 6 is 1. Negative 3 plus 12, that's 9. Okay. And this one is now at the same time we can make fourth row second entry 0. So R4 such that R4 plus 1, multiply this by negative 1, negative 1 R2. Okay, so 0 0 0, 1 plus negative 1 is 0. I mean that was our by design. 1 plus negative 1, oh this is also 0. 5 plus 2, 7. Negative 3 plus negative 4, negative 1 times negative 7. Now pivot, 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 pivot. We don't have to make 1. So we got pivot here in this diagonal and everything below 0. Okay, we can ignore the last column. So here pivot and everything below is 0. So this is in echelon form. Okay, row echelon form. We don't have to go all the way to reduced echelon form. So in fact from here we can find the values of the the variables x1, x2, x3, x4. So this implies, let's work from backward. Okay, from the fourth row, and this is coming from x1, x2, x3, x4, and these are constants. We generally denote by b, not needed. So from the fourth row, 7x4 equals negative 7. 7x4 equals negative 7. Okay, that means divide both sides by 7. So x4 is found. That's negative 7 over 7, negative 1. Now we are working backward because from the third row, 5x3 plus 1x4 equals 9, and the x4 is found negative 1. It's a negative 1, so add 1 both sides. So 5x3 minus 1 equals 9. Add 1, so this becomes 10. Divide by 5, or x3 is 2. Let's go to the second row. So 1x2, here is plus 1x3 minus 2x4 equals 4. x3 is found to be 2 plus 2 minus 2 times x4 is negative 1. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2, and this is minus 2 plus 2 equals 4. This is plus 4. x2 plus 4 equals 4. Subtract 4 from both sides, we get x2 equals 0. And finally from the first row, we got a little bit more there, so let me go a little bit down. Okay, so this is 1x1 plus 1x2 minus x3 minus 2x4 equals 1. Okay, maybe this one is for all of them. Okay, this is not really needed. X1 is to be determined plus x2 0 minus x3 is 2 minus 2 times x4. x4 is negative 1. Negative 2 times negative 1, positive 2 equals 1, 2, 2, 0. So x1 equals 1. Okay, thus we got x1 equals 1, x2 0, x3 2, and x4 is negative 1. 1, 0, 2, negative 1. Final